Nobody can move the way Kun-Yang can move. He can show you something and it just, you'll never see anybody else in the world duplicate it.
The beauty of his solo dancing is his clarity and his speed. I think are just most people can't do it, and you know, he has such a riveting intensity.
It makes you stop and look. He has a presence. I'd have to say it might be in his stillness, and everyone who's ever come up to me after a show says something about the way Kun-Yang moves.
Why become a dancer? The best way to understand dance is by experience. Let me talk to everybody. So probably in 5 minutes. They have to experience rather than just intellectually, you know, to understand.
I've developed so much as a dancer because of him. His technique is supported by an aesthetic. It's breath, it's presence. There's a sense of humanity in the work that he does, and he is very, very clear and specific at bringing the entire community of the class, whether it's 5 people or 45 people, into that not only aesthetic but that experience.
I think they have really changed my idea of what technique can be. Breath and dynamics and quick changes and centering of weight, and I've really been able to expand with regard to how I think about my body and what technique and really being qualified in one's craft looks like.
And I think he's really pushed me as a dancer a lot. I mean, I've grown a lot from knowing him. I just really agreed with what he had to say about dance and what he emphasized about dance, about like a higher spirituality that he brings to technique class, but also demands a very physical ability at the same time, and how you meet the spirituality and the physical together.
He's so grounded and much more natural type of movement. He's completely changed my balance. Balance is huge with Kun-Yang.
He's taught me really how to be a grounded dancer, and it's so much more about the energy and the life in the work. It's work that you can really grow in and sink your teeth into.
The breath is integral to the dancing in his pieces. Just the feeling of the movement and the use of that breath, I think, is an impulse which leads to then thinking about what the movement looks like visually in space.
Able to pull out this extraordinarily professional, impressive and high-level performance from dancers, and it's really remarkable. I think many choreographers and rehearsal directors don't have that talent, and I'm not sure what's behind it. I think certainly part of it is his work is based on a certain natural breathing rhythm. If certain aspects of the choreography, whether it's dynamics such as percussive or more lyrical things, are in some way tied to that the height of your leg and your extension and your balance, a lot of those things which sometimes seem to come first actually follow a lot more naturally.
I think that Kun-Yang brings a certain energy to the class where he allows us to go deeper.
Something transformed since I've been at school, mostly from Kun-Yang's inspiration, where I found like this spiritual way of dancing, a full body experience as opposed to just worrying about technique and pointing my feet and making sure my legs are straight.
Working with him has made me more aware of how important it is to be aware of presence and joy and expression, or whatever that place is from which you as a person are being enriched.
For myself, I put that in 3 parts, which is called discovery and awakening and be.
And so the singular experience of constantly being asked to bring technical prowess into performance, into a sense of 100% presence, it's so relevant to the way we live our life even beyond that class.
And by the end, it's just be who you are.
If one of those students were to go up to him at the end of the class and ask him about their development or projects, things they need to work on, he could answer them immediately as though he had been watching only them the entire class.
And he's a really good way of giving you sort of individual feedback that is very pertinent to you and making us feel like we're not just one in a huge crowd of people.
It always surprises me how on top he is with everyone's personal progress.
That sense of commitment that he has and that sense of presence that he brings, I think that he's a living example of his work, and I think that he does nothing but inspire the students in the classroom to be the same.
But the lifting becomes sharper and more faster. So I